Hi, it's Wendy here, back with another video, and it's poetry time with an explanation at the end of the video. So stick with me to get the whole experience behind the poem and the full meaning. So here we go. The poem is called The Most Exquisite Form of Death. The Most Exquisite Form of Death. And we begin. Oh heavens, laugh at her foolishness. She who lived by her wit so pleasantly for so long has fallen. She was trained in satin and sneakers, ready to dominate. Thoughts to brood over in her works were never of anyone. Her behavior never lacked style, and it contented her heart. She was a heart, a character, a personality, a woman. Till it bored her, that lonely momentum that was her life. Repetition had stilled its vivacity. It made life insufferably tedious. So when he showed up with his unstaggering flow of game, her reactions to him were a shock to herself. They were unexpected and scary. His complexity of words, mysterious air, and unflagging confidence left her feverish. When they spoke, she felt like she was exchanging words with an overpowering heat, yet he managed to show some sensitivity in him. He was obsessed with the inexhaustible flair of art, yet appalled by life, which itself was art, a disorder with sounds, color forms, movements, and illusioned symmetry. So she fell in love, that girl. Disarmed by his words and eyes, her walls crumbled. She hated it the most but loved him the most, and it hurt. You love too much and it hurts too much. It is a mix of colors you don't remember loving. A mix of colors you don't remember learning in kindergarten, an injection of 1,000 butterflies, and then a tempo that plays in your heart till the day love is dead. You wear each other on your skins and create new scenes. All that was love between the two of us. It is resolves and promises a bit tarnished, a jealous face here and there, a phased engagedness. Life is happening, and it happens a bit too much to some. Then the attention is some gradual diminution. The more you crave it, the more it diminishes. The topping is a cruel crave of his presence, especially when others are being graced with it 71 times more than you. All that was love between the two of us and life. The fall was killing her. It was the most exquisite form of death, their love. So she fought back, not sure if she was winning or losing, but definitely hurting less because she was loving less. That's the end of The Most Exquisite Form of Death. The Most Exquisite Form of Death was a poem I wrote, as you guessed it, after the several breakups with my ex. Let me go back to where I started. Oh heavens, laugh at her foolishness, because I think that was just a stupid move. Just agreeing to date him, that was a stupid move. So, oh heavens, laugh at her foolishness. She who lived by her wit so pleasantly for so long has fallen. I was used to, my ex was my first love, first everything. And I had given in to him for a reason I don't get, because I was always saying in high school, because I had never even kissed anyone till after high school. And I was always this girl who was like, the person I'm gonna date is the person who God will show me in my dreams, even though it's not in my dreams, just some kind of confirmation, and that's the person who's gonna be my first and last. So the way I gave in to him, I don't know, because he wasn't even born again. But it went on for 5 years, so well. She was trained in satin and sneakers, just because I love sneakers. For the love of sneakers, I had to include that. Ready to dominate. thus to brood over in her works were never of anyone. This means that I basically never ever made a boy a priority in my life. Ever. So, well, before him. Because I was so sure that even though I don't get that someone for me, I could always just, just be me. Just be alone. But I wanted a family though. Let me just not play with that. I still wanted a family. But I had seen like so many men breaking hearts, and yeah, women breaking hearts too, and I thought this is risky business. If you wanna love, that's risky business. It's risky business. So she was a heart, a character, a personality, a woman. I still am all of that. Till it bored her, that lonely momentum that was her life. Basically, I got bored being single. I got lonely. I just, like I told you, for a reason I just gave in to him when I knew he wasn't the one for me. And yeah, I just did for some reason. Just finding that I have never had a boyfriend, I needed to be loved, and I just gave in the moment someone approached me with promises of the future. So reputation had stilled its vivacity. Same thing, that lonely momentum that was my life, that whole repetition. I just wake up and I'm single, wake up and I'm single. And all my friends, they're like, this is my second boyfriend. I broke up with my ex and blah blah blah, and here I am, still looking. So yeah, it had made life insufferably tedious. That was an exaggeration. My life was not like that without a boy. That's an exaggeration. Because it's poem. It's poem. It was still good before. Life is still good even without a guy, without a partner. So he showed up with his unstaggering flow of game. Her reactions to him were a shock to herself. Honestly, I never thought I'd react to a guy the way I reacted to him when we first met and we talked. When we first met, we talked about poems. He's an author. He was published too. He's published. So he took out his poetry book and I read it, and I was just mesmerized by his words, the way he was just using his words. And when we met, it was in a group of other guys, but he was the quiet one with a hoodie and headphones, cutting everyone off, all the girls and all the guys that were there. So that's what made me walk that way. So yeah, they were unexpected and scary. They were scary because at the time I knew what I wanted. Like I said, I've been raised in a staunch Christian household, so I knew what I was looking for in a man, and it had to be someone born again or at least a Christian. At the time, because I hadn't grown as much as I have right now. Right now, we don't play that game. We're not playing that game. God has to confirm. So they were scary because of the way I felt around him when we were talking about these things, and he even wrote me a poem, and that's when it got real scary, when he wrote me a poem. Right when we were just seated there and I read it, I'm like, and mind you, at the time I was also writing poems. I was also writing poems, and I found that he's writing better than me, and he's like, I'm gonna teach you. And then I found out he draws, and I draw too. And he doesn't know shading, and I'm like, I'm gonna help you shade. I'm gonna teach you how to shade. And honestly, it was like, nimefika. This is the place. This is where I need to be. This is where I was meant to be here. Yeah. So okay. His complexity of words, like I told you, even when he spoke, he was always speaking like he's writing a poem. Mysterious air, but sometimes words can fool you. They lie in words. People lie in words, so be careful. Mysterious air. He was always mysterious, by the way. Opening up, even like I told you, when he was among that group, he was the quiet one, not sharing anything. An unflagging confidence. I liked his confidence because it was a quiet confidence, a calm one. You know, people see someone who's all over the place and so loud, and they're like, oh, she's confident. But there could be someone who's just, you know what? It was a quiet confidence. I liked it. It left her feverish. We're going by the point. When they spoke, she felt like she was exchanging words with an overpowering heat. Yeah, when they spoke, like I told you, we talked about poems, we talked about art, we talked about life in general, and that whole dialogue, that whole exchanging of words, it was beautiful. It was. Yet he managed to show some sensitivity in him. He was obsessed with the inexhaustible flair of art. He was artistic, like I said. Yet appalled by life. Well, this was literally just all about him, not me. He was an artistic person. He loved art, like I said. He was obsessed with an inexhaustible flair of art. But he was appalled by life because, you know, life hadn't treated him good from the experiences he told me. And which itself was art, because life is art. And then I explained it. It is a disorder with sounds, color forms, movements, and illusion symmetry. That's how I explained life. I don't know why I came up with that one. So she fell in love, that girl. Disarmed by his words and eyes, her walls crumbled. The walls I had built up, they came crashing down. The moment we had that conversation, the moment he looked at me, the moment he approached me and said the words. She hated it the most, but loved him the most. I loved the whole experience, but I also kind of hated it because I didn't want to fall for him. I knew somehow, it's like I'm looking in a mirror. It's like the male version of me. He was literally like the male version of me. But then again, there was this other thing, like I said, being born again, and the fact that I still wasn't able to trust men, at all. So I hated the whole thing. I didn't want to fall in love with him. Well, I did. And it hurt. Yeah, it hurt. You love too much, and it hurts too much. Basically, yeah. If you fall so much for someone, the heartbreak is gonna hit you like a truck. It is a mix of colors you don't remember learning in kindergarten. I'm explaining the love that we had. A mix of colors you don't remember learning in kindergarten. An injection of 1,000 butterflies, and then a tempo that plays in your heart till the day love is dead. You wear each other on your skins and create new scenes, like creating new memories. All that was love between the two of us. And resolves and promises a bit tarnished. A jealous face here and there. Okay, resolves and promises a bit tarnished because there were a lot of promises we made to each other and we didn't get to meet them. Not because they couldn't be met, especially him. Not because they couldn't be met, but because at some point you just, I don't know, we just say these things. Like I told you, it's easy to say, but the actions, when it comes to acting, a jealous face here and there, a lot of jealous faces, a lot of them. But they were justified. They were justified because it was all over. A phased engagedness since life is happening. Like us engaging with each other, it got hard by the day because work, life happening to him and to me. Sometimes something happens to him and you get how life can just happen, not the good side of it, and it happens a bit too much to some, like him and me, but mostly him, that the attention is some gradual diminution. So the attention had to be directed to something else that was happening at the time. Well, in his life, the more you crave it, the more it diminishes. Well, basically it's like the more it diminishes, the more you crave it, because now you're not getting the attention anymore, so you start craving it, and the more you crave it, the more it diminishes again. The topping is a cruel crave of his presence. Like, craving his presence was like, okay, the cruel crave, because like craving is not a good feeling. Honestly, craving something is not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. You crave something because your body wants it so much that it feels like I can literally die if I don't get that. That's the kind of craving that I'm talking about. That's the kind of craving we call cruel. Crave of his presence, especially when others were graced with it 71 times more than you. Basically, as it, barely got to interact, and the fact that there were others getting his attention and being graced with his presence every single day, every single minute, and not even just for work, but just to be out there and experience more art. I'm gonna explain this one day. Him experiencing more art, something like that. So especially when others are being graced with it 71 times more than you. 71 was just a random number, no hidden meaning, no decoding there. All that was love between the two of us and life. But then here I end up blaming it also on life, because in life there are people, and people, they're mean, and it wasn't just the relationship being mean to us, also people. And the fact that life was happening so much to him, like the bad kind, it made him fully immersed in that situation, that it's like he disappeared. And that's why I'm saying, that was love between the two of us and life. The fall was killing her. As the ones who know my experience with my ex, honestly, that was some kind of a death. I was just dying slowly. Like, if you need to be killed slowly, go back in that relationship and ask to be in it. It was the most exquisite form of death. It was a form of death, but then I call it the most exquisite form of death, because I cannot deny the moments that we had together. I cannot deny the first days, the first experiences that we had together. Not even the first, because sometimes there were beautiful moments, and I was genuinely in love. And love is a beautiful thing. You feel good when you're in love. I love love. Love is a beautiful thing, and it makes you feel so nice sometimes. So I cannot deny the most exquisite parts of it. But then, that is why I'm calling it was the most exquisite form of death, hence the title of the poem. The whole experience with him was the most exquisite form of death. Their love was the most exquisite form of death. So she fought back, not sure if she was winning or losing. That's when I started to rise from this funk that caught me for like a long time because of the relationship. And I started fighting back, because honestly I felt like I was allowing too much to happen to me, because I was always just silent and letting it happen. And I would catch him doing something that I wouldn't want him to do, and he would find a way to deny it and manipulate me to believing that it wasn't that, or giving me some reason, and he would actually justify it in a way that I get to feel like he's actually right, and I get to hate myself because of attacking him for hurting me. You get? So yeah, basically that. So I started fighting back, because I started thinking, I'm allowing this thing to happen to me. I have the power to stop it. It's not easy. I mean, I don't know if I quite had the power. I mean, yeah, I had the power, but like channeling the power, that inner power, it was hard. It was hard, because I would manage to channel it. Like I told you, broke up like 7 times, so I would manage to channel it, break up, and then eventually I just give in again. So not sure if she was winning or losing, because of the breaks, the so many breaks, like on and off thing that we had. but definitely hurting less. Though, so I say not sure if she was winning or losing because of the on and off thing, but definitely hurting less because she was loving less. So eventually I just decided to look for a way to literally just stop loving him, because it was the only thing making me go back, even when I knew that's the kind of love that kind of destroys you, kills you, traumatizes you. But I'm going back there despite all the dark experiences and all the hurt and the pain. I still went back because of love. So what I needed to get rid of was love, so that I don't go back. So yeah, definitely hurting less because she was loving less. That was the most exquisite form of death. The most exquisite form of death. Okay, so thank you for watching this far with me. I hate YouTube words. Thank you for watching this far with me, and comment something down there. Say something, a line that hit you. If you had the same experience with, because this is not like a very unique experience, it has happened to many. So comment down below, and I send grace over your way to help you overcome that and whatever it is that you're going through. Thank you. Bye bye.